Dananjaya, Hettiarachchi.
That's right.
What a pleasure it is to meet you.
Pleasure's all mine.
Welcome to Charlotte.
Thank you.
Tell me a little bit about your experience. I know you have come a long way. First of all, where have you come from?
Well, I've come from Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka is a beautiful island in the Indian Ocean. It's very far away from the U.S. Actually, it's a 22-hour flight.
Wow.
But I'm no stranger to the U.S. I speak twice a year here.
Yes.
And I'm on tour right now.
Okay.
So after I speak in Charlotte, I'll be going to Alabama, New York, California, and then I'll be back home.
Wonderful.
And Charlotte is, this tour is interesting because this is the first time I'm down south.
Down south.
And
Welcome.
I've had an amazing experience so far.
Really? So have you ever heard of the term Queen City?
Not yet.
Okay, well, you will. You hang out
All
with
right.
us, yeah. But congratulations to all of your efforts. I want
Thank you.
others to know about why you're here, and also to some things about some of the accomplishments that have actually brought you here.
Right.
You are a phenomenal public speaker from what I hear. Tell us that story, how it began.
Well, I think my journey in public speaking started when I was about 19 years old. I was a misguided youth, and I can still remember getting arrested for the first time. And my dad, my mom was very emotional. She's there, like all moms.
Yeah, sure.
But my dad was pretty cool.
Okay.
He saw what I was all about. He saw the energy, saw that I didn't have a way to channel it.
Okay.
And a way that will interest me. So he had a friend who was a Toastmaster, and Toastmasters is a group of people that help build your leadership skills and public speaking skills, tell your story. And he told my dad to take me to Toastmasters.
Nice.
And I can still remember walking into that first meeting. I had never met a forum that listened to your story.
Yes.
And I think something that's very important for all of us is to have an audience that will listen to your story.
That's right.
And just by telling your story, you find a way to channel your energy. And you do that constructively,
Yes.
and at the same time you build the competency of becoming a public speaker.
That's amazing. So tell me something. What is your passion behind what you do? I know you already tell a story, but there has to be a certain passion that makes you continuously do what you do.
I think it's about finding what makes you feel alive.
Okay.
I think different people have different things they do to feel alive.
Yes.
Just yesterday we met this amazing gentleman called Tim who restores old World War II rifles.
Okay.
And he was telling me that when he does that, he's alive.
Nice.
I've met dancers who, when they dance, feel alive.
Yeah.
And what really means that what it really means is you're fully conscious. You're 100% there.
That's
and
good.
for me, it's when I'm in front of an audience.
Wow.
That 1 hour, 45 minutes, 7 minutes I'm in front of an audience, that's where I'm fully conscious.
Right.
Off stage, my mind is somewhere else. I'm thinking about the past or thinking about the future. But when I'm on stage, I'm there.
Yes.
And
so you feel your energy.
There you go. And that's the passion that I have, and that's why I do it.
That's amazing. So while you're here, I know that you have a strong message for Charlotteans and everyone else around the world. What is the most important message that you want to get across to those that hear what you have to say this week?
I think one of the most important things is, and my message, my keynote, is about taking risks.
Okay.
And this is important for you to develop yourself as individually as well as if you're an entrepreneur.
Okay.
A lot of people have this misconception that once you take risk, you will immediately get return. But that's not always the case. What you need to expect after taking risk is failure.
Okay.
And failure is important because it's what teaches you what teachers can't teach you.
Right. Right.
And that's why failure is the greatest teacher. So you take risk and you put yourself in an uncomfortable situation, and you definitely will fail in several areas.
Okay.
But that's life trying to teach you what you need to know.
Right. Right.
Because one of my mentors used to say this: if endurance is a muscle, the exercise that will build it is called failure.
I love that.
So the more you fail, the more endurance, the muscle called endurance will build. And endurance is what you need when you become successful.
I agree with that.
And they say you don't need it. You need it before you become successful, but you need
all the
more
more.
when you finally make it.
Yeah, I guess you could build
Because-
stamina.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
because when you make it, you need to sustain it.
Okay.
And a lot of people don't know how to sustain it. They don't have the endurance to sustain it. So
Very true.
fail often, fail and learn, and get set to sustain your success. So take risks as much as possible and do it while you're young, when you can, because that'll set you up for a great platform in the future.
That's awesome. So, you being the expert that you are, Dananjaya, I want to ask you, what do you do in your spare time? I know you don't speak all day long.
Yeah. Well, something I like to do other than speaking, and I have a consulting company and speaking, and both things that I love. So
Okay, that's good.
sometimes when you do something you love, you don't have spare time.
Yes, I know.
But when I have spare time, I love to dance.
Oh, awesome. Tell
I
me,
love,
what type of dancing do you do?
I love ballroom dancing before I became a
Wonderful. That's
speaker.
good stuff.
Before I became a speaker, I was a professional ballroom dancer.
Oh,
And I still love to dance.
Really?
It's
Very
something,
impressive.
that I,
So you have the language and the body movement. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's funny, just like Steve Jobs said, when you can only connect the dots
Right.
looking backwards.
Right.
So now when I look back, I realize that my dancing career lended so much to my speaking career.
Amazing.
Because that's how I became comfortable on stage.
Right.
And that's why I always say, if you want to be an awesome public speaker, do dancing.
Amazing. That's good stuff.
Thank you.
So tell me, you're here, you're speaking here in Charlotte.
Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about what your plan is
Right.
for moving forward from that
Right.
onward to,
Right.
you mentioned
Right.
Alabama.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'll be speaking in Alabama and in a similar context.
Yes.
3-4 events, and then I'll be in New York. And
Okay.
I have a couple of workshops in California.
Okay.
And all of these talks center around discovering your potential, molding it into something great,
Okay.
and helping you sustain it.
Discover
Because
potential.
it took me 10 years to do that in my
Yes.
own journey.
Okay.
So from when I was 19 years old to win the world championship, it was 10 years. And 10 years, that taught me a lot.
Okay.
And especially about how to find that special something in you.
Right, right.
How to mold it
Okay.
into something that will contribute to society.
Yeah.
And how do you manage success and manage your potential after you hit the peak.
Okay.
So all of these talks focus around that, peak
Okay.
potential.
Yes.
And my objective is to help individuals really bring that something
Okay.
out so that they could help individuals,
Right.
one at a time.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be something huge, but just one at a time,
Okay.
and contribute to their society.
That's amazing. You said reaching that peak. Would you say you've reached that peak as of yet?
I think in one curve, yes.
Okay.
I'm at the start of another curve now.
That's wonderful.
And I think life is always like, a sine curve. You have your peak, and
That's
then
right.
you go down, but then that's the beginning of another curve.
Right, right.
So you need to be able to understand that and start investing on your next curve
Okay.
before it's too late.
Amazing. Dananjaya, I have a radio broadcast.
Sure.
It's called Take It to the Max.
Right.
And I always ask everybody,
Right.
whether I'm interviewing them by way
Sure.
of video, radio, whichever.
Yeah.
How are you, or would you say you are taking it to the max?
I think one of the ways that I take it to the max is I just do what I love.
Okay.
You can't take anything to the max if you don't love it.
I agree with that. Yes.
And the only way you could reach that level of frequency, at the top 1%, is to do something you love. And my advice and what I do is I just keep discovering what I love. I just keep doing it,
Good.
and I'm able to take it to the max.
That's awesome, and indeed you are.
Thank you very
It
much.
has been a pleasure interviewing
Pleasure
you.
is all
Welcome
mine.
to the Queen City. You'll hear
Thank
that
you.
again, I promise. Thank you so much.
Thank you very
God
much.
bless you.